Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Fully Managed podcast by Penji. This is a podcast where we discuss marketing, business tips to help assist you in your business journeys. I'm your host today, Daniela, and I'm Penji's partnership coordinator. And I'm joined today with a very special guest, Dennis Yu. Hi, Dennis.
Hey, Daniela.
How are you doing today? Very excited to have you.
I'm excited to teach all of our agencies and creative folks how to show up on Google the right way.
Yeah, that's definitely a really big topic right now. For anybody that doesn't know you or what you are, what you do, before we get right into it, can you tell us a little bit about you and your agency, what you're doing?
I'm a search engine engineer. I built the analytics at Yahoo 20 some years ago, and my mission is to create 1 million jobs, and that's through empowering agencies and other friends of mine to be able to grow, which then means they hire more people from the Philippines, Pakistan, and other places.
That's really cool. So you really know what you're talking about then.
I have made more mistakes than almost anybody out there in the agency space.
Well, mistakes do help you learn. So like you were talking about, we were talking about how to show people how to show up on Google the right way, right?
Yep.
I think SEO is a really big topic nowadays, but at the same time, it's a very unexplored topic. A lot of people are trying to show up on social media specifically, right?
Yep.
Like Instagram and TikTok and all of these platforms, and they're
Mhm.
hoping that that's going to get them on search engines like Google.
Yep.
In your opinion, how do you see the landscape of online visibility happening right now and how all of these things are changing? I think it's not just social media, but also AI driven
Yep.
management and other platforms like that
Yep.
one.
So all the robots are getting smarter.
Yeah.
It used to be that it was just a search engine and it was kind of dumb because it was a file directory. And then you had social networks that had algorithms like newsfeed driven. And
Yeah.
now AI is a layer on top of that. So if you are a designer, an agency, a creative, a consultant, you have to show up amidst all this noise. And a lot of people think, well, I just need to create more content, or I need to be on TikTok, or I need to do all these things, which all involve doing more things. And most of it doesn't work because you're just polluting. Like, can I share my screen and show you?
Yeah.
Let's
Go
see,
on.
let's see, present.
Present. Yeah.
I love, instead of talking theoretically, I love showing real examples
I
because,
love that. Yeah.
there's a lot of people that give a lot of advice and, who knows whether it's any good or not. So can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
So I'm an engineer, right? So I created this tool and it's a knowledge graph explorer because it looks at, Google assembles everything out there, people, companies, places, your favorite place to eat, right? These are all things, right? And all these things have an ID associated with them. So when I Google Daniela Hernandez, there's 32. Did you know? There's 32.
No.
Yeah.
32 of me.
And well, uh, depending on which one is you, so there's a science reporter for the Wall Street Journal. That's this Daniela Hernandez. So you see how there's this object,
Yeah.
Daniela? And it could be a
Mhm.
company, it could be a place, it could be, anything, right? Google has to try to understand what that is and all the facts and pictures and information associated with that thing, right? That's what the search engine's trying to do.
Yeah.
So this Daniela has more, it's not you, but it has a pretty high confidence score because there's a lot of information associated with it. And there's the ID of this Daniela. Then there's another Daniela. Is this one you?
Let me see.
No,
No,
that's not you.
that's not me.
You're very attractive compared to that one.
Oh,
Let's
thank
see.
you. Yeah. I'm
There's
a
this one.
catfish online, so you might not like recognize it because I'm always like
Okay.
my best way.
But there's a lot of Danielas. So think about this. If Google or Facebook or TikTok or whatever sees that there's many Danielas, and then here's some other random Daniela, right?
You
If
said
it doesn't
Wall
even
Street.
know who you are and which Daniela is which, then how can you build a brand? How can you attract clients? How can you show that you're authoritative? Because you have to, before you even like try to create viral videos or, get a lot of followers, which I don't recommend, you first have to teach Google and Facebook and YouTube and TikTok and all these places who you are, right?
Yeah.
And most people, they just put their firm, their company, their agency as like who they are, which is fine if you're a solopreneur or a freelancer initially, but you're confusing Google because there's your company. And even if you're the only one working in the company, you are not your company. Those are separate objects. So there has to be a personal brand and there has to be a company, right? And so most people, they just naturally start out as a designer, creative, whatever, and they put their bio under the company about. But do you see why that actually creates confusion?
Yeah, because it's not, that's who you are, not your company.
Right. And then you could have done a lot of stuff for your company, but when you're talking about your company, it's what results does it drive? What does your company stand for? And then who does your company work with? And you happen to be highly related to your company. Maybe you're the one who founded it. So what we want to do is send a signal to Google and Bing, and which also is sending the signal to the AI, right? A lot of people don't realize the way you have your stuff show up in the AI is you make sure you've claimed all your socials. So if you search Dennis Yu, you'll see,
Yeah.
you'll see there's a whole knowledge panel that shows up, right? There's all these boxes, all this information, right? People also look at these other people that are well-known digital. And I can do it in Safari just so you can see the same thing. And you'll see this, you can see all this here. But you
Yeah.
see here below Daniela, people are also asking questions like, who's the CEO of BlitzMetrics? Well, it's me.
What is
What is
BlitzMetrics?
it? And then people also search for my net worth, the dollar a day strategy, and the content factory. They see me on Facebook and Instagram. Do you see this whole thing? The search engine's trying to help us. It's trying to help the user saying, oh, well, people who search for Dennis also want to know my net worth, right? Because I don't talk about that. You can kind of figure out what it is based on like when I left Yahoo and how many shares I would have had and that kind of thing. And they associate with me with this dollar a day strategy and my company. So I'm trying to teach Google who I am. I'm not selling, I'm not promoting, I'm trying to,
Let people
Google's like a
find it.
toddler, right? They
Yeah.
don't like you would think the AI is so smart and all that, and it is, right? But now I go to ChatGPT and I'll say, who is Penji or who is Penji Partners or whatever, right? Or who is Dennis Yu, right? And I'll say, who is Dennis Yu, which is me. And so it knows all this information. So Daniela, how does the AI know who
Who
I am?
you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can go to any of the AIs and it'll give the same answer, right?
How did you manage the AI to do that through the search engine, right? Through Google.
Because I put the information through social that's picked up by the search engine, which is picked up by the AI. So the AI is able to look, and everything's going to be driven by AI. Your news feeds on TikTok are already driven by the AI. Everything's driven by the AI, right? When you talk to Alexa or Siri or whatever, it's listening, it's driven. That AI is a filter on top of all this information. And there's so much more information, an increasing amount of information out there that we have to have AI filter for. So if I was to do a podcast with Penji, what should I talk about
Yeah.
that is relevant to the audience? And then now the AI knows who I am. The AI knows about Penji. We could ask the AI about you, but it might not know which Daniela Hernandez it is. And here's all these things, right? And then I can go to the little thing that you sent me and say, like, these are the questions that you gave me for today, right?
Yeah.
And I could say, here are the questions that Daniela of Penji,
Prepared.
she runs the partnerships, prepared. Please answer them in context to, Penji's user base, community,
Yeah.
And so there it is. Here's the questions and here's the answers, right? And I could just go ahead and read this to you. And now our podcast is done, right?
Yeah. It's like so easy too.
It is. But then if you're a designer or a creative or you have an agency, how then do you get the AI to do the work for you, like here, right? And I would look at this and say, like, I'm just looking at the answers. Like, it looks pretty good, right? I mean, this is pretty much what I would say. But how does the AI know what I would say?
I don't know
This
because
is
like
pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's actually pretty detailed too. Like the answers
Uh-huh.
are very spot on.
Yeah, and it knows the articles. It's read all of the things I've written. It's watched hundreds of my videos, and it's even pretty close to real time. So I could say, like here, what's a Google Knowledge Panel, which is what we just talked about, and now I can go to, like HeyGen, for example. There's a lot of tools that will basically put your face and have you say things you didn't say very believably, right? And then I'll come in and
Right.
create a video as me.
Talking about HeyGen. Talking
Yeah.
about Google Panel, sorry.
Yeah, and then here's one, and I'll take this one, and I'll put the words in, and I'll have it generate, right?
That's actually like low-key scary
Yeah,
how much you can automate that to the degree that you can.
yeah, and I'm wearing my blue shirt. Oh, where is it? Oh, here, put it in the wrong place. Why am I not? Sorry, I put it in the wrong place. Put it here. There. Okay. All right. Let's play that one. Here we go. It takes a few seconds, but it sounds. I mean, you can tune it to sound the way you want, right? And now I'm answering all these questions, right?
And then, like podcast is done. We didn't even have to do anything.
Yeah, and there it is, right? So I've answered your questions here, you know, but the thing is, I'm not using. This is the mistake people make. People come to AI and just have it generate stuff,
Yeah.
but that's what we call cheating because it's synthetic content. So synthetic content is when you just say, write a blog post on the 10 ways to do whatever, right? But that's bogus because anyone can do that, right?
Yeah.
Here's what I'm doing differently. And this is why I have a lot of followers on social media. This is how I've made money as an agency. This is how I develop trust. Like everything that is key to my success is this one thing I'm going to show you. Everything I do fits in with a real story. I don't just say, here's how you run a Facebook ad and get more clients. I show from direct example. Everything I have is a direct example because what Google said is that there's so much fakery out there that they want to know what's real, right? Because there's all AI generated, all kinds of stuff. How do you know what's real or not, right?
Yeah.
So Google came out with this thing called EEAT: experience, expertise, authority, trust. And it used to be EAT: expertise, authority, trust, but they added the E because they want to know you actually have real experiences. So what I have is a ton of real experiences, and I teach from these real experiences, ideally like real videos. Like we did all this stuff for the Golden State Warriors, one of my favorite clients, 5.5 years. We ran ads for them, got to hang out with Steph Curry and these other people, right? I have tons and tons of real experiences. And that's how I show the AI that I really have done the thing that I say that I'm doing. So
The advice that you're giving. Yeah.
yeah. So Daniela, name any city in the world.
San Francisco.
San Francisco. So I could have the AI generate stuff about being a designer or a tech company in San Francisco, right? And it could generate an article better than you and I could ever write, right? We can
Yeah.
never beat the AI at chess and this sort of thing, right? But if I look here in San Francisco, you can see here I was in San Francisco at the San Francisco Public Library. Let's click on the information. This was April 5th, 2023, last year, on an iPhone 14 Pro Max here at, put on by the city. So we taught a workshop and it's in San Francisco. And clearly I'm here. This is a real moment in time because of all this metadata. This is not like an AI generated image, right?
Yeah.
This is real. So if I want to say something about, like, what's something I want to talk about in San Francisco? Some topic, something, eating, doing something. What is it? Biking, throwing the frisbee. What is it?
Tourism in San Francisco.
Tourism. Okay. So if I want to write an article or make a video about tourism, well, San Francisco is full of tourist things, right?
Yeah.
Restaurants, Alcatraz, and I've been in all different parts of San Francisco. You can see like this is the ballpark, right?
The Giants. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's the Golden Gate Bridge. And, so do you think Daniela, that I can take my experiences here, which are all categorized and with different friends of mine. So, I could take Alex Berman. He's a good buddy of mine, right? So I've got all these pictures and experiences and videos and whatever with Alex Berman. Here we are at the Taj Mahal, right? Or
How
in different parts of, it's Taj Mahal, India, Orlando,
Paris, right?
Paris. Yeah, this one's London. This is the famous sunflower painting at the National Gallery
Yeah.
in London, right?
I saw another one in Paris. That's why. And like,
Yeah. We've been in Paris. So there's clear proof that Alex Berman and I have done a lot of things together on this planet, right? So I could write an article about my favorite places
to visit.
to visit with Alex Berman, and Alex Berman happens to be the king of cold email and agency lead gen. And he's got a $10 million a year agency and blah, 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 right? So you can see here we are in New Delhi at the
India.
airport, I guess, or somewhere, yeah. So this is Fat Dennis. And, but imagine, do you think I could take all these raw ingredients of me and Alex doing all kinds of things? We're making videos, we're doing all kinds of stuff, right? We're teaching dollar a day, as you can see here. We're taking a break in between filming. Do you think the AI could process all these raw ingredients and write a book?
Probably.
Yeah.
The way that AI is right now, if you give it to the AI, he could probably, I mean, it could come up with something.
Yeah. And so Alex and I have made lots of videos doing lots of things. Like we even went to freaking Universal Studios, and this is Hogwarts Express.
Hogwarts, yeah.
Yeah, right. And you can see here it is in the LA Universal Studios, not the one in Orlando, right? So all of you guys that are consultants, agencies, designers, whatever, do you have real experiences with your clients, real results? You take this, and then the AI can write your books, articles, YouTube shorts, Instagrams. Like the AI can generate everything from the raw ingredients. So this is what I want everyone to understand. If you start with the raw ingredients here in this first, you see the purple box here?
Process, right? No, produce.
Produce. So
Yeah.
you're producing, if you're doing stuff for, let's say you serve law firms, let's say you, more specifically, family law firms like divorce, right? You're an agency and you serve divorce lawyers. Let's just say that's what it is. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
you have a lot of proof that you're doing that. Then
A
what
lot
you
of
do is the
divorce law.
AI can process that and turn that into all kinds of marketing content and landing pages and books and YouTube videos and whatever, because it started from the raw ingredients of your real experience of an agency that serves family law, right? So I'll give you an example from yesterday. So yesterday, my buddy Liam is doing lead gen for an agency called Rocket Clicks. Rocket Clicks is an agency that's trying to generate more leads for law firms, right? The divorce lawyers, right? And this guy, for the last 3 months, has been dialing for dollars, cold calling, getting hung up on, getting told to F off. Can you imagine like what that's, for 3 months, just like making, I don't know how many phone calls per day, a lot. And then just
To
getting
get rejected.
just rejected every single time, right? I mean, he even has like the face of someone who's been rejected, right? I mean, you can just kind of tell, what a
Yeah,
horrible thing. Because then if you're a lawyer, you're a busy lawyer, you practice, you do all this divorce stuff, and then this kid calls you, says, hey, I'm I want to try to sell you on my marketing services for my agency. What are you going to do?
probably just be like, whatever, hang up. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have time for
And
this.
in fact, he gave me this script. I'll put him on the spot. This is what he's doing. This is what most agency people are doing. Can you read this? Is this so-and-so? So-and-so, you're going to hate me, but this is actually a cold call. Do you want to hang up now or let me have a quick 10 seconds? My dad is a lawyer, blah, 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 cold call. Rocket Clicks is, an agency that helps lawyers and blah, 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 right? Here's another one. Hey, so-and-so, it's Liam from Rocket Clicks. And I'm
Honestly, I'm
just
sure
cold
you guys
calling
get
you.
a lot of these calls. Yeah, I'm seeing them. Yeah.
Look at this, day 6, day 7. Look, how many calls is like, by the time this guy is like called that lawyer like 8 times, what is this, day 8? Look at this, day 8. Can you imagine after you've already gone through 7 calls, now this guy's calling you on day 8? Is this so-and-so? You're going to hate me. This is a cold call. My dad's a lawyer. Rocket Clicks bases their fees on your growth. We're a really good lawyer. We're an agency serving law firms, and we're really good. And, you see, day 10.
Just hang up. Like,
yeah. So isn't this the case for almost anyone? Like, the point of what we're talking about today is, how do you stand out if you're an agency or a creative or whatnot, right? Well,
yeah,
you start with real experience. So what I did was I interviewed this kid, Liam, for 20 minutes. And I knew that his one main asset, and all of us have one hit, one or two hits, maybe multiple. His dad has a $15 million a year family law firm. He has one of the 5 top law firms in this space. And that guy's name is Jeff Hughes, Sterling Lawyers. And that's what this guy, Liam, who wants to generate more clients, he should play up the advantage of his dad, who runs a big law firm, right? So this is Jeff Hughes, who runs a big law firm. And all the other family law firms want to be like this guy who's grown to $15 million, right? So if I was Liam, his son, I would interview Jeff and say, Dad, what are some of the things that, what's it like running a big law firm, but also, managing your personal life and your family, balancing all these things, right?
yeah,
Well, son, it's this and that. And hey, Dad, tell me, like, what was the thing that, when you first started as a lawyer, before you started hiring all these other lawyers, what was the thing that you did differently that helped you grow to be like 100 lawyers or whatever they are, right? And then what if he put that stuff out there? Here, like Jeff Hughes and I have this thing here, and this guy's honoring me, right?
yeah. Dennis, you dropped your goal today.
Yeah. And then there's a podcast. Look at this. This is on his YouTube. Dennis Hughes' secrets to outsmarting giants and winning clients. Well, what if this guy, Liam, instead of thinking that you just need to keep making more and more and more phone calls, thinking somehow you're going to get clients by just spamming people to death, what if instead he interviewed his dad and interviewed the other clients of this agency, and then just put out all this great content? Hey, here's 5 things you need to do as a divorce attorney, or let me audit your Google or your website and show you how you can rank better, right? And then if you approach your lawyer and say, so if I use this script where, like, he's got a list of all these people he's going to call, right? And I say, hey, Mr. So-and-so, I was analyzing your website and I found this one thing that's causing this other family law or, divorce attorney in your city to outrank you. And it's this. Would you like me to show you more?
I think that would be a lot more enticing, because then I'd be like, what do you mean they're outranking me?
Yeah. So name a city, any city in the US.
In the US, Chicago?
Chicago. So Chicago divorce attorney, right?
Yeah.
Divorce. Can't even spell divorce lawyers. Okay. So here's these guys. They're running ads here, right? And here's the ones who are in the top 3, which is the local pack, right? And then these guys rank number 1 in the regular search results. And they rank on 2,300 keywords, in addition to Chicago divorce lawyers, which they rank number 1 here, right? And then there's all these other ones. And people are also asking, what's it cost to have a divorce lawyer? How much does it cost to file divorce? What kind of lawyer, So if I'm, let's say, if I was Liam and I wanted to get more of these lawyers in Chicago to sign up for my thing, I would come look at someone who's not in the top 3 or 4. Like I'd go look at this Meta Law Group guy, right?
Yeah.
And I'd look at him and I'd say, this is his site. And I'd say, let's see, who are they about? Let's look at the about. I'm sure there's some guy, this guy Meta, right? This guy, I would say, hey, or find out who the marketing person is. Hey, I can show you why these other guys are ranking ahead of you. You know why? I can tell you right now. It's because you don't have enough trust. You are not showing, you're not talking about divorce. You're not talking. Look, here's the keywords that you rank on, Meta. You only rank on these 400 keywords. QDRO attorney. I don't know what that
Meta
means.
law group, Mig law.
Law.
They're not very like.
They only rank on their own name. They don't really
Yeah.
rank Glencoe, which is a suburb of Chicago. It's because they have an office, I guess, in Glencoe. And they rank in position 17. That doesn't even count. There's 100 people a month that are looking for Glencoe divorce lawyer. They're getting 1 click because they rank in position 17. Divorce lawyer Berwyn. Berwyn is also a suburb in Chicago. They rank in 12. That's in the second page. Where do you hide a dead body? On the second page of Google, right?
Yeah.
Oak Lawn, that's another suburb, but they don't rank on Chicago. Family violence attorney, Wilmette. See, so I could, if I was Liam, I would approach this meta guy and say, I did an analysis and you're mostly ranking position 12, 17, 23. Like you're nowhere in the first 10. And at Rocket Clicks, I can help you get in the first 10. Would you like an analysis of what it's going to take to do that and why it is?
It's definitely also very personalized, right? Because you're talking directly to their business and their own struggles, and you're
This
giving
is their thing on divorce. So they want their number one thing for family law is divorce, right? Because that's where all the headaches and the drama, people are looking for a divorce lawyer, right? Well, this is their page on divorce. This is the one that's supposed to attract all the clients that are looking for a divorce attorney. But does it meet the criteria? And by the way, we're auditing this one, but all you guys that are agencies and consultants and whatnot, the same thing applies to you. So you see this whole like Roman column thing in the background?
Yeah.
What does that have to do with divorce? So I could look at this image and reverse image search. And let's look at this Roman column thing and see where else is this being used on the internet? How many other places are using this same image?
Coronavirus.
Right? Yeah. So if all these other places are using the same image, how much real, authentic trust do you think there is with Google? Why don't they show pictures of their actual stuff that's actually them, that's real?
That's right? Like their own firm, their own divorce.
Yeah. Why? Because any random VA in Pakistan could put up this page saying divorce and put a picture of Roman columns. And then these guys, MLG Law Group, have zero authority over that. And then look at this, skilled divorce lawyers at MLG. Whether you're considering initiating divorce proceedings or your spouse, blah, 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 then you need to choose an experienced, compassionate Chicago divorce. AI can generate this, right?
Yeah.
How we help clients. Oh, we're proud to serve clients all over Chicago. Okay. But where here does it, remember we said Google's looking for EEAT. Where is their actual experience? Where are they showing their actual expertise? Like, oh, we've been doing it for 25 years and we've done it for, 1,300 clients. And we have 8 attorneys and, here's our process. This is all generic garbage, right?
I mean, that's essentially every divorce.
They're all like that. So then I come to ChatGPT and I'll say, this Meta, not Facebook Meta Law Group does divorce in Chicago. Here is their location service page, which is what that is. Please evaluate for PAA. People also ask. And EEAT on a scale of 1 to 10. So I'm asking it to say, grade harshly. Okay. So I pasted in the text of that page. And now it's coming at me and saying, well, you really didn't answer the questions. Because remember, people also ask, remember when someone's looking for a divorce lawyer, they're also saying, how much is it? And how long does it take? And what if I don't have a prenup? And they're asking all these questions. So I'm asking the AI, am I answering the people also ask questions? Remember we did the search and it said people also look for, these things?
Yeah. Experience, expertise.
Experience, expertise, authority, trust. Is it structured right? No. Is there any sort of reviews or engagement or anything to show like we're a legit firm? No. EEAT. So by the way, when you ask ChatGPT to rate you like 1 to 10 and it tells you like 4 or 5, it's really just being polite. You know what they're really saying, right?
Yeah. It's like a 0.
It's like it's trying to it's like, oh yeah, good job. But it's a complete fail, right?
Yeah.
These guys are complete fail. Look.
It says 4 out of 5, but there's no positive reinforcement in the text. So
Yeah, it has no trust. It has no authority. Like, you know, why would anyone choose based on what you see here on their site? Where's the one? We have so many of these things that are open. I got too many of these things that are open. But anyway, we were on the site and nothing here shows me that these guys are any good, right? I mean, couldn't some AI just generate some nonsense? Like I could start up a competing law firm and just generate better than this, even with zero experience, right?
yeah.
There's nothing here. Now imagine if they hired, now I'm Liam and I'm saying, you know, hey, we specialize in helping family lawyers rank in Google, make the phone ring when someone's looking for a divorce attorney. And part of what we do, the first step is we do an audit and we go through and fix these pages and give Google what it wants. So can we get some videos of these different attorneys talking about where's the one where we're asking the questions?
I think
I'll just ask again. Divorce lawyer Chicago. Okay. So I'm pretending I'm a consumer, right? I'm looking at this agency's or the clients are certain. So what's it cost? And you know, what kind of filing? What's the process? How long does it take? And then there's different rules in Illinois, right? And look, Sterling Lawyers, that's Jeff Hughes.
yeah, that's
He's
his
ranking
dad.
on this, right? That's his dad, right? Well, you would think like, and Sterling Lawyers is the main client of Rocket Clicks, so they ought to play that up, right? And Jeff, who founded Sterling Lawyers, also founded and owns Rocket Clicks, right?
Yeah.
Is Illinois divorce 50-50? So you see how there's all these who gets the house in a divorce, and what if the spouse says this, and can you get it for free, and can I date while being separated before divorce? That's interesting, right? But do you see how, Daniela, people are asking all these questions. Now, do you think if Liam said, hey, you know what? Uh, I did an audit and it's very clear. I think you'd agree. It's very clear why you're not ranking in Google. You're not answering the questions. You're not giving Google at once. Other lawyers have more EEAT. Other lawyers are answering the PAA. People also ask, right? See this? People also ask, right? Even if you, and this meta guy would probably say, oh, but look, I have 416 reviews. I have more reviews than these other guys. You know, I should be ahead of them because this guy has only 183 and this other guy has 150. Why are these other two ahead of me? And you would say,
Well, because you also have no presence online that's making you stand out.
yeah. So
And they
then,
probably do. Like if you go into their pages, they probably have better socials.
right. So I would say, look, it's not rocket science. We have a whole course on how to fix this. So I'm happy to give you all of our step-by-step training on how to fix it. And you can have your people, your agency, your intern, whatever, go through all that. Or you could have us do it, right? Either way, it's not magic. I just showed you how easy it is to diagnose that things are wrong. We also know how to fix it. And we're showing you the whole process and how to do that. And we have Sterling Lawyers as our marquee client. Like if we help, because Sterling Lawyers said it was with the help of Rocket Clicks that we grew from nothing to $15 million a year, right?
Yeah.
So would you like
Yeah.
us to implement the same thing that took these guys to 16 million, right? Well, yeah. How much does it cost? Okay, well, I'm glad you asked. So here's how it works, and blah blah blah. Now imagine I was Liam, and I use that approach instead of this thing that he's doing.
Script.
Look
Yeah.
at this thing that he's doing. Hey, this is a cold call. My dad's a lawyer. And I want to give you my playbook. And let's say even that his playbook is good. Even why does that not matter? He says, oh, I've got a playbook with these two components. Why does that not matter?
Because it's not personalized, it's not interesting, and it's not giving them anything. It's just like, you're busy, you're tired, you're not going to pay attention to any of that.
Amen.
Yeah.
So, oh shoot, you can't even see my face now. It's probably
No.
because this camera died. Oh, you can't. Well, we'll have to AI generate it then.
No worries. Yeah, I guess they're gonna just have to look at mine for a while.
Here we go. I'm gonna switch to my laptop. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a fancy camera, you can see, but and the
Well,
Sonys, they overheat. So it's been really hot in Las Vegas. So It's been overheating.
No worries. Yeah. I'm on my laptop camera too, so bad quality for both of us, I guess.
All right. I have a face made for radio. Thank goodness they hire us because of our expertise, not because of like how I look.
But with Penji, I think we have a similar experience with trying to show up correctly through Google.
Yeah.
We're obviously, while we may not be directly like a marketing agency, right? We're not doing marketing for people. We do graphic design. We still are very involved with marketing because graphic design is kind of like hand in hand. And I think
Right.
if you search unlimited graphic design, Penji is always trying to show up there,
Yeah.
like with keywords like that, or like graphic designers, unlimited graphic design, subscription service graphic design, because we know that that's the sort of people that we're trying to target, that kind of clientele.
Yeah.
And also, I think we really care about being there for like clients and, like you said, in a more personalized way. Because what happens is that you get tons of different kinds of people who need so many different things. And how are you going to make it so that their experience is unique, right?
Amen. Well, let me show you something, because you may have not seen this. Let me share my screen. And this is, I love showing real data, and sometimes it puts people on the spot, sometimes it's embarrassing, but in this case it's really good. So when you search for Penji, did you know there's 3,300 people a month that are searching for Penji? When they're already searching for Penji, that means they already love the company. They already are looking for it, right? And then people want to log in and app web, there's these questions people are asking, and you have an ad here, and then these guys are running an ad ahead of you, right?
Yeah,
They're trying to steal, right? That's how Google makes money, by getting people to compete against each other, right?
Yeah.
But then look, you rank on these 70,000 something keywords. So every one of these keywords is basically intent. So look, people want to know how to do a presentation, or they have branding. They have all these design related things, and then you have very specific articles on how to do different things, right?
Because we want to also, I think that's a big thing that Penji has also, what you were describing, which is like not just give them like the website for graphic design and that's it, but you
Right.
want to give them tools, and you want to give Google that thing so that they can also subscribe to Penji through finding you. If they're looking for articles like this, they probably need a service like Penji.
Yeah, and then look here, unlimited graphic design service. This is a very competitive term. It would cost you $5 a click, basically, and you moved 17 hours ago. You moved from position 4 to position 1. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, that's actually really good.
Yeah, so you can take credit, because when you do interviews like this and podcasts, and you're just sharing, because we're not selling Penji at all, right?
No.
When you are literally sharing how you do everything, like this one here, how to remove a background in GIMP. GIMP is, of course, that free graphics design tool. You have this, which is a good, helpful article on how to do that. Oh, click here, click there. And Google is looking at the Chrome clickstream data to determine SEO. You know what I mean? They're not looking at all these. They're literally looking at the behavior. When people come here, they ask a question. Do they seem to get a good answer? That's what Google's looking at, right?
Yeah.
And this one page alone ranks on 2,400 keywords. Across all the articles you have, this one gets a ton of traffic and has 2,400 terms, but it has only 6 referring pages. No one's linking to it. And it has a URL power of only 1. So what if you got more people to talk about it and link to it? What if you had internal links between other articles you have about design or removing background images or whatever, and you link to this article and you increase the power here, you would rank on more keywords. And then the rankings on these keywords would move up. So of these, actually, these are all number 1, GIMP background removal. This one probably doesn't need any more juice, but maybe something that's a little bit more competitive that we want to move up on. Branding packages, right? Or this done for you, unlimited software, unlimited design package, right?
Yeah.
You could get so much more. I mean, great. You're getting a ton of people coming in on how did Nike start, because you wrote an article here. This probably isn't going to get Penji more customers, but at least it's getting people onto the Penji site and they're being familiar with the Penji brand, and it can lead to other stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
It doesn't lead to clients directly, because it's just education and branding, right?
Yeah.
And this one doesn't either. Look at how many things are ChatGPT this and ChatGPT that, because everyone thinks that you don't need to hire a designer because you can use ChatGPT, right?
Yeah.
But you guys have embraced it because here, can ChatGPT generate images? You're talking about that, right?
Because I think we have there's a lot of content on Penji where you can find that they're talking about graphic. I mean, I think AI right now is really just changing everything, right? And
Yeah.
graphic design is one of those things where AI is just having a massive influence. And
Yeah.
instead of being scared from that sort of influence, I think you have to sort of embrace it and say, like, okay, we can also work with that. What are we going to do with this to help you? And at the end of the day, what's important is to stress that AI is there, yes, but it's never going to fully replace a human brain, or at least not now, you know?
No, it's actually good for Penji and
Yeah.
us and anyone that's selling creative kinds of ads and whatever services, because remember, everything we talked about here, Daniela, was using the AI to amplify the real initial ingredients. So
Yeah.
we're actually good at the thing that we do, and we need graphics design or video or branding packages. The AI is just like another set of tools.
Yeah.
Like
That's exactly it.
other Adobe tools or Microsoft Office or
Figma.
Canva, like
Yeah.
it's not the tool, it's the intelligence of the user to amplify the thing. Like if I just started my law firm, let's just say, and I don't know anything about law, I've never had a customer before, and I use ChatGPT to build my website, or I use Penji, or I use Canva, it doesn't matter because I need to actually have proof that I've done the thing, right?
Yeah.
Then using Penji, using ChatGPT, using all these in combination is what's amplifying the initial raw actual experience, which is what Google keeps saying. And I can point you to articles where Google says this is what they want. SEO people want to argue with me, but it's like right there. How do you argue that? Right?
Yeah. Because I think AI and like all of these tools, they can certainly put together something really good. But if you're not giving it like the right things, like it's like kind of
Yeah.
like giving a chef really bad ingredients and then asking him to make a great
Yeah.
meal. Like
Give Gordon Ramsay chicken poop. Is he going to be able to have something gourmet and delicious?
yeah, exactly. Like there's only so much you can do if you're just giving him
Yeah.
like salt and pepper,
Yeah.
right? Like,
And then they want to blame the designer. Like,
yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's like well, you need to like take a step back, take a look at what you're doing and sort of see what's missing.
Yeah.
You need to give those ingredients and then, that chef, the AI, Penji, whatever that person or platform is, that can put together something really great, but you need to make sure that you're giving it that
Amen.
that thing,
I think
right?
if we could just get that message out there, if we turned our episode here into a blog post, I'll put my money against it so people can hear it. I'll link to it. I have a lot of high powered sites that can push that article up in the rankings on this topic that we're talking about. And that's good for all of us, right?
Yeah. I'll see that if that we make it into a blog post. Maybe we can like make the transcripts and then sort of
Yeah.
turn it into a blog post so that we
Yeah.
can do that.
Take the transcripts so the words are good, and you can literally dump I can show you if you want. It's easy. You dump the transcript into the AI and say, okay, summarize it, write a blog post, blah blah blah, right? And it'll do that instantly.
Yeah.
But you then embed the screenshots showing the examples, so it's real, right? Because you can tell it's just AI generated when it's like just text and it's AI generated images. But if we actually include little bits of real things of like you and I doing this, we take this thing, put it as a YouTube video, embed the YouTube video. Like these are all signs saying like Daniela and Dennis actually did get together, right? It wasn't
Yeah,
just AI generated on how
we did
to use AI to whatever, right?
we did speak. We are real people.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm like ultra paranoid about trying to like to the nth degree prove to the AI that I am real, that we've actually done these things, that you and I actually hang out, that like that's why I even opened up the email where you sent me, here's the questions I think I want to ask. Like I'm proving it's real, right? The AI
Yeah.
didn't generate a fake email that you sent to me and a picture of like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah.
clearly real, right?
Yeah.
I'm showing the metadata of the photos when I'm in Paris to prove that I actually was in Paris, right?
Yeah. It's not a green screen.
Because you could AI generate, the whatever Eiffel Tower and all that stuff.
You can AI generate everything nowadays,
Yeah,
honestly. If you put your heart to it, like whatever.
yeah,
Well, Dennis, it's been great having you on the podcast today. I think you have so much knowledge. And I've like personally learned a lot from it, like not just like because of everything, but I think I had like a grasp of how to do all of these things. But the way that you've sort of explained everything, at least for me, has been very eye-opening. And I hope that for most of our listeners and viewers as well. For anybody who wants to find you or get to know you, but right before we leave, I want to give you the floor
Yeah.
to tell them
Yeah.
where they can go if they want to get your help.
I want you to Google me, and you can reach out to me on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, whatever it is. And I reply to everybody. It's me personally, not a bot, not a VA. So it may take a day or two, but I always love hearing your comments. I always love seeing what's working for you because I learned so much. I want to know. Like Daniela and I just had this conversation about why you need to be real and how that impacts your SEO and social and AI at the same time. Like, I want to know what parts do you think were compelling? What parts are confusing? Which of these did you implement? Maybe you implemented some of the things, like you saw everything we did was like real examples. It wasn't some
Yeah.
theoretical thing, right? I want to know, when you take action, what did you see? And if you have some results, good and bad, that you want to share, I would love to highlight your experience.
Yeah.
And that creates a link for you. That's good for me too, because I've looked at thousands and thousands of people that have gone through our $1 a day knowledge panel training, content factory, the stuff. I'm not just sharing, hypothetically. And we always want to keep improving our training materials, right? And make it better and better. And when you guys help me out, we have a team of people, obviously, that gather all this stuff up. Then this is better for everybody. So I appreciate you guys have made it to the end here, spending time with Danielle and I. And I just want to, instead of you just like listening or watching, it's like a cooking show where you see like Rachel Ray cooking. That's great. But I want to see you actually cook. I want to see you actually take action. Let me know.
Talk to us.
Yeah,
Right.
we're real people.
I will be adding your links to the description of this. It's going to be up on our social media, and so that people can actually go and find you. They can also go and find us. Everybody, thank you so much if you've made it this far. I will see you on the next episode. And Dennis, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Daniela.
Thank you. Okay, bye everyone.